love iced coffee. If you'd like to buy me one, just go to buymeacoffee.com/fortherecordyourhonor.
Monster Energy Supercross Saturday.
Please consider making a donation or leave a tip for the channel. Don't forget to hit that like button, and subscribe is free.
I'll have to call them back. Who is it, girl? Tell Mama. Damn. I love iced coffee. If you'd like to buy me one, just go to buymeacoffee.com/fortherecordyourhonor.
Monster Energy Supercross Saturday.
Please consider making a donation or leave a tip for the channel. Don't forget to hit that like button, and subscribe is free.
I'll have to call them back. Who is it, girl? Tell Mama. Damn. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. We are back in action, y'all. Race day Saturdays are back. The weekend arrived and Moto Madness was waiting to release chaos. I don't know about you, but I was ready. The boys were back in town. Yes, the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. The possibilities were endless. We were eager to see the return of Eli Tomac, the Lawrence brothers, Jett and Hunter, Jason Anderson, Levi Kitchen, and more. Besides the anticipated returns, we had some debuts too. Jorge Prado and RJ Hampshire in the 450 class. A clean slate for everyone, which leaves the track wide open for all. All the talk wasn't just Chase and Webb, like we all were fixated on a few weeks ago for Supercross. It was all about, will we see beast mode or pure jet fuel? As for 250 class fans, we're hoping to see a three-way fight for the title between Deegan, Boomier, and Kitchen. Speaking of Kitchen, did you guys see his new hair design? Oh my. All I could say is, to describe it, Hot Wheels, baby. Good Lord, here we go again. I don't hate it. That's his way of showing his personality. As he tends to be one of the more loner, quiet guys of the sport, he has a close, tight-knit group of friends back home where he's from and his girl by his side, but he's good and content with that. But boy, when Deegan rattles his feathers, he's always flustered and distracted instantly. He's got to handle that. Will those flames literally on his head and in his head burn out or fuel the fire? I hope he's fully healed from his injuries and ready to go. It's been a rough year for him. The chef likes to cook in the kitchen, but will he burn the dinner at the opener? Only time will tell. Will anyone surprise us outdoors? We will talk about all that. We have Eli Tomac insisting he's 100% and razor focused, telling interviewers his eye is on Chase Sexton. And when asked about Jett Lawrence, the golden boy, Eli didn't seem to show any concern when responding to a question, saying he is well aware of how fast he is, but ultimately he didn't exhibit any fear or anxiety. Tomac, who is usually just quiet, was extremely personable and visibly excited. We know from recent interviews he wants to race next year in 2026, shutting down the rumors of a definite retirement like originally planned and speculated. Chase Sexton seems to be in good spirits before the race. He spoke on camera with the broadcast, beautiful Haley, and didn't seem eager, but not distant, just kind of relaxed. Is this because he's leaving KTM and the pressure is off? I don't know about that, because he should be focused on defending the outdoor title, which he currently holds. He described himself as the least talked about because he is the most consistent in riding style, technique, and well, yeah, even his errors are pretty predictable. But seriously, he told Haley how there is not much unknown about him to other riders and the spectators. The current rumor of his next move in the team has remained with Kawasaki. And if it turns out to be true, then we all know there just might be some truth to the whole Anderson walked in on the conversation and they did not want to give him an extended offer. Jason El Hombre had been spotted riding over a week ago and is one of the fan favorites, and his return is one of the most anticipated. Chase went on to say he had been working hard on starts and revival of carnage or falls. Well, that's good to hear because he does need practice with his consistent crashes. We then heard from Spain's MXGP golden child, Jorge Prado, or like Nitty likes to call him, Jorge. I think many are waiting to see to make their judgment. He told interviewers he is not worried about the travel changes and adjusting. As he explained, all his life he's been adjusting. He also mentioned how he actually likes and prefers racing on one day in the States on Saturdays rather than 2 days, Saturday and Sundays in MXGP. I wanted to make note to you guys that Tom Vial spoke to Haley as well, and per usual, like I've been saying, he was kind of out of place, seemed sad, dry, and honestly disinterested. He did go into discussing that he can't wait for 450, as this will probably be his last with 250. As for Danger Boy Deegan, he seems to be pumped to race, and this is at his old home track, which he claims is his favorite, Fox Raceway Pala for Motocross. Before the race started, the Weege had a quick statement made to the camera regarding the Jett Lawrence situation off the track, and they had once again to make mention of Lucas Myrtle, the ex-agent of both brothers Jett and Hunter. Of course. I posted on X right after that on-air move. Let me get this straight. They had Jason Weingatz say a statement regarding Lawrence brothers, but we still hear nothing and see nothing from Ricky Carmichael and Lee Diffie to Daniel Blair. Just so you know, no one forgot. I'll leave that right there. 250 Moto 1. We saw Casey Cochran return in lineup. Hymas, Juju, Deegan, and Shimoda were running the show. Where was Levi Kitchen? 15th. Yes, 15th, y'all. Yep. I don't know. I didn't want to go wild off the rip about that, but what? Come on, man. It's just, yikes. After leading so much out of nowhere, Hymas tucked the front, crashed, and it costed him the lead. Juju took his place, but Deegan was already right on his rear. Number 23, Julian Beaumier, started to feel the pressure and heat of Haiden catching up because Juju was overjumping and had some hard landings. Deegan did make the pass and left Juju in the dust. Hymas started to recover, speeding up to second from fourth, but short-lived. So at that point, Joe Shimoda, in his great attire, stole positions and kept going. He was in second at 10 minutes left to go. Where the hell did that even come from? I don't know, but I liked it. This household loves Joe Shimoda. At 7 minutes left in Moto 1, the lead pack was Deegan, Joe, Hymas, Juju, and Vial. Seth Hammy was in 8th, Juju was losing steam, Vial made a pass on him for 4th. Shimoda was 9 seconds behind Deegan, the leader, and at 2 to go, Haiden Deegan was slippery fast, but per usual, he had full grip and control, which is insane, absolutely insane. All you can hear is the crowd, and to be honest, Yamaha revs up. In the final lap, Danger Boy was still leading the race with a distance of 6.5 seconds. Haiden took the win for 250 Moto 1. 450 Moto 1. In this moto alone, 11 different countries are represented and highlighted in the race. And this was RJ's first official 450 moto, just 11 days after he had wrist surgery, yet qualified 6th for Paula. This is pretty wild and gnarly, but that is determination. It's impressive and much respected. The race went off with Jett, J. Coop, Hunter, Tomac, RJ, and AP leading the track. Jorge Prado was staying in the top 10. At random, the broadcast was focused on Chase Saxton, and out of nowhere, we see Chase crash, possibly accidentally putting the bike in like neutral, and then somehow the wind got knocked out of him when his chest slammed against the handlebars. He drove off the track and then went back to the pits. Then we see Cooper Webb, and his bike was smoking. JT on trackside said, "Smells like coolant," and it was just a hot mess. With 10 minutes left in the race, Jason Anderson was in 10th place behind Prado, Webb, and Savacci. In the front of the pack, it was Jett, Justin Cooper, and Hunter. Interesting gaps, as Jett was 7 seconds ahead of J. Coop, and behind him by 12 seconds was Hunter. Webb's dude had a pit board message telling him, "Roll the clutch," which was probably due to needing to reduce the engine temperature, but at 7 minutes left in the race, Cooper's bike was toast and shut off. Thank God it happened safely, and Webb just pretty much walked off the track with the DNF. Eli Tomac was in 4th, 16 seconds behind the lead. Jett took the win. 250 Moto 2. Vial, Juju, Haiden, and Shimoda. We see Juju and Joe lightly race aggressive, but a tight battle. Deegan started to make some mistakes, and Joe was right there watching. Joe was flying and literally floating up the hills. Hymas was in 9th at 23 minutes to go due to a bad start. Kitchen was back in 10th, and I'm not gonna lie, I expected better. He was definitely struggling. Nate Thrasher crashed and was sent to the hospital with a suspected rib injury. It was Deegan, Bomir, Shimoda, Vial, Marchbanks, Hammaker, and Hymas. Then Joe made the pass on Juju. They continued to race each other back and forth. Joe was 4 seconds behind Haiden in the lead. Man, these guys were going so fast. Hymas and Hammaker got close and even bumped as Haiden Deegan continued to ride in the front with excitement. Deegan gets it done for a second time. 450 Moto 2. RJ was doing pretty solid with the new class, and we didn't see Chase line up as he was done for the evening due to that previous crash in Moto 1. Tomac was beasting already with 23 minutes still left in the race to go, only 1 second behind the lead. Eli was smelling that jet fuel. It was time to get feisty. The crowd was just loving this battle, as y'all been waiting 3 years for an outdoor performance between Beast Mode and Jet Fuel over here. It literally became a race and showdown between these two. At 19 minutes left to go, the order went from Jett, Eli, Hunter, AP, El Hombre to Prado, Webb, J. Coop, and Mookie. Tomac closes in on Jett, but per usual, Jetson was able to slip and pull away. The distance became 3 seconds between the two with 13 minutes left in the race. Malcolm Stewart was seen offside of the track having some issues. Cody Shaw crashed out and his bike refused to fire up. So there's another person with a DNF. Shout out to the rider number 102 holding it down in 9th. Of course, no air, TV time, or broadcast discussion. But great riding, dude. Then we saw Beast Mode put that thing in sport and was flooring it. Giving it his all to try and close that gap. Next thing you see, he was rip-dogging. He was less than a second behind Jett. The expectations for outdoor season was definitely made right then and there. The bar was set high as fuck. Because this speed on a dirt bike, on a track, is absolutely fucking insane to witness. This was quite a captivating battle to watch, truly. Hunter wasn't far off. I'm actually surprised at how well he was actually doing. Prado was 5th, which is excellent for someone who this is their first MX season ever in the States. Justin Cooper in 8th, RJ in 12th. When looking at the times, you'd see positions 10 and beyond were actually 82 seconds behind the lead. Wow. Jett was making sharp turns, and then all of a sudden, Eli was dropping back, losing speed, now 7 seconds behind Jetson. Hunter Lawrence still holding third, 31 seconds behind his brother. If we are to expect more fueled battles between these two in the future, oh my. In the final gap, Eli was timed 12 seconds behind the lead. I don't know what happened, but Hunter was off the track, losing his spot in third, AP slipping right in there. Jett swiped the win and was seen crying with the crew members hugging and congratulating him. He was very emotional. I like Jett, I do. I honestly think it was a younger Jett in that old footage. But yeah, anyways, as a writer, you cannot deny or ignore that talent. His skill is a force. Not gonna lie though, it did seem, in my opinion, speculation, his brother Hunter was a bit like get your shit together towards Jett. The more I noticed with him, I really didn't like who he has become or he truly is. Such a shame. He's too serious, and stern demeanor has now shown behind the scenes that he's another dad, like a little prick one, yelling and pointing in his golf clothes. A bit snooty. Don't hate me, that's just what I see in the vibes he's giving. Jett collected himself, put his sunglasses on, and took the stage. He spoke while some people chanted USA, and he made mention of injury, mental breakdown, and painkillers as part of his recent concerns, but closed it by saying, "You can't budge me," admitting he was fighting off some beast mode attacks. When Eli took the stage, the crowd got loud. Everyone loves Tomac. Yamaha and Honda are on top. We next season. Let's go. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button and stay tuned for the Let's Get Gritty podcast later this week. I'm Linda, and that's for the record, Your Honor.